So today we have Reagan Gilbertson here, the head coach of Redmond High School. He has spoke for us previously, but we get to hear what they're working on with their program this year. He's actually a graduate from Redmond High School in 2000. He's been the coach there since 2016, so we're excited to hear what they're working on and upcoming ways that we can support him.
That was a tough joke to follow. I have a joke. Dang it. Setting up for success. I got a prize for whoever gets the joke right. Why can't basketball players go on vacation? You gotta raise your hand.
They can't travel.
Can't travel. Okay, there's one. There's one.
Grizzlies right here.
Oh, there we go. I might have another one later, but it won't be a shirt. Maybe a history question for the other shirt is the last Central Oregon boys basketball team to win a state championship in what year?
I think it was 02, and wasn't it with Marty and all those kids?
Very close. Very close.
Okay, Redmond High School 03.
Ding, ding, ding. There we go. Nice job. You're so close.
Was it 03 that Marty went?
He was a junior. We don't like to talk about him much when it's Redmond Day now that he's over at Ridgeview. So, yeah, he was a role player for them.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a couple shirts. I hope they don't fit you because I want you to come to a game and we'll get you a shirt that fits you. But good job, ladies.
Maybe we could have a Kiwanis event. The Kiwanis night in the game.
That'd be awesome. I don't think we need that. All right, I'm Reagan Gilbertson. Very grateful to be here. Thank you for the invite. I won't talk too long, but I do get a little chatty, so I have my practice plan with me. I can cross off the joke and the question. A little bit of my history. This is my 8th year at the realm of the Panthers. I did graduate in the smoke-free class of 2000 from Redmond. Never had a cigarette, so the campaign worked. Yeah. So,
That year?
what's that?
That year?
That year, no, not a smoker. But so 8 years ago, I took over and I helped Mr. Porter, Coach Porter, when he was the head coach there. And I'm in a little bit of a turning point in my life. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm out mowing my lawn. This is 2010-ish, and Dusty and I go way back. We weren't super close at the time, and he pulls up and stops me from mowing my lawn. He's like, "Hey, you want to help coach?" I'm like, "Sure." I just got done playing basketball at Eastern a couple years previously to that. But the rest is history. I got to learn from one of the best leaders that I know, a mentor. Obviously, what he's done with Energy Basketball has been amazing. But started off as a JV assistant coach at Redmond. Got some other experience at Ridgeview as an assistant. And then I'm blessed enough to have my dream job, and I don't plan on retiring anytime soon. So I'm just happy to be here. But our first year, we won 5 games, and it was a struggle. So to see us where we've come in 8 years is pretty awesome to see, and it's all about the kids and the skilled players. But we had to change the culture a little bit, and I think we've done that. We've got awesome people in our program. The last couple years, we've had a lot of success. 2 straight Final Fours. No credit to me. One of our stud athletes grew from 6'2" to 6'8" in a summer. Now he's 6'11" and still growing. At Idaho State, Evan Otten. He was one of our leaders, but these guys were also players on the last couple squads. But it's great. Great players. Where was I? Okay, here we go. This is how my practices go. I'm going to introduce Ian and Jack really quick, and then they have a couple questions, and then I'll finish up with kind of more about us. So Ian Pearson, point guard junior, and Jack Snyder, he's a wing / guard, slasher, also a junior. But they have a couple questions for you guys. You can stay there or come up to you. I don't know what they're gonna ask you, so.
I was just wondering how long you guys have been doing this for? Like the club?
How long we've been a club, or how long
Yeah.
have we been members?
How long have you been a club?
Since 1937.
I'm the 87th president, so quite a few years.
And then my question was, because before yesterday I hadn't heard about this club or anything. I was just curious, what in terms of like values are you guys like? What do you support? What are you looking for? And what do you?
You kids.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's awesome. Is
You've been down to Hope Playground at St. Johnson Park?
Yeah.
Swim center? That
Yeah.
was ours.
That's awesome. That's super cool. Nice.
We also did a lot of down at Rich Stadium.
Yeah.
My father did all the
That's
seats,
awesome.
did all the ingrading and all the seats. I mean, we put in track, the Quantum Club put in track.
That's awesome.
We also got the pool started, the Cascade Swim Center.
Scoreboards.
Scoreboards.
All the scoreboards.
That's awesome.
We also had key clubs at each of the high schools now, which is.
Oh yeah, yeah. The one at Redmond. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, go see Miss Spearman.
Yeah.
Always looking for members in key clubs and
Yeah,
talk to
absolutely.
the
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so think about, we support youth programming and youth organizations. So we raise money and then we give it away.
Gotcha.
Scholarships too.
That's awesome.
So.
$16,000 years left. Was it last year? How much did we give last year?
23.
Oh, wow.
That's
total,
amazing.
Yeah.
And we also spend directly volunteer hours at places like Ronald McDonald House, I don't know guys, where else? Bunch of different places.
That's awesome.
Jericho table. Yeah. We do highway cleanup.
Good on you guys. That's really cool.
Great questions.
Yeah, those are
Yeah,
really
nice
cool.
job, guys. Nice job. So our goal is to win a state championship, and that's usually our goal. I think every competitive club that should be their goal. I mean, yeah, we have some short-term objectives and we want to play, but we want to win it every year. I know that from my experience, if your goal is to make it to the state tournament, and then you do make it to the state tournament, you're happy with that. So we don't just want to get there. We want to win it all every year. And thanks to Energy, we've got a pipeline of players coming up for years to come, and keep trying to achieve that goal. Love to see you guys at some games. We're going to have a little bit different of a style this year, style of play. But we're going to press, run and jump. We're going to be super fast, pick up the tempo. We played probably, by the end of the season, we played probably 6 guys in the last 2 years. There's a little bit of a jump between our starters and our non-starters. And this year I think one of our strengths will be our depth. These guys don't know it until right now, but another one of our strengths will be our conditioning. We're gonna run a lot, because if we want to tire out teams, we got to be in great shape. And then we're gonna bring 4 or 5, however many guys off the bench that are gonna be fresh and hopefully tire other teams out. So if you can make a game, it'd be awesome. We have an awesome leadership program at Redmond High School this year. The student sections have been awesome. So it's a pretty fun event to attend.
You guys going to be crashing the boards with all that running?
We're going to be crashing the boards.
All
We're
right.
going to be crashing the boards. Yeah, but a little different. We could go on and on about offensive
Just-
rebounding philosophy, but yes,
Just gotta go.
yes, yep. That's easy for me to talk about. That kind of talked about Energy and how thankful we are. So 8 years ago, when I got the job, the previous coach, I asked, like, hey, how's the youth program? He said, yeah, it's good. It's good. We got a 6th grade team, a 7th grade team, and one 8th grade team. Oh, okay, all right. And now we've got over 500 players. We've got 1st grade all the way up to 8th grade. We've got multiple 8th grade teams, all the way down to the not kindergarten, 1st grade, the elementary level. There's 500 kids, and every weekend, every night, the gyms are packed. which has caused a little bit of a challenge for us is getting gym time. But just from where I started to now, it's a huge thanks to Dusty for creating this thing and his vision. It's been pretty cool. I don't know if this is relevant or not here, but I'd like to throw it out there. I haven't even talked to our AD about it. We would like to do a big event at the end of the year, our third Ridgeview versus Redmond game. We'd like to do it at the Expo Center. We'd like to have energy basketball there, maybe the 5th grade championships, 6th grade, all the way boys and girls, and then have the girls and boys in whatever order we decide. But just make it a real community event where we get people together, maybe raise some money for different organizations, and just make it an annual celebration of the game and our kids. So,
Coach, do you need volunteers or something like for that?
It's probably we will, but it's like I said, I haven't even approached my AD. I'm meeting with the girls' coach tonight, and we're going to see how we're going to approach.
Yeah, keep us
Jesse.
informed.
I will.
We like it to be hands-on projects, so
Yeah,
keep us informed.
we'll do. Thank you. Why did Cinderella fail at basketball? I don't have any shirts.
She
Sorry.
didn't have the right shoes?
Raising a hand back there. No.
Couldn't think.
She only had one shoe.
What's that?
She only had one shoe.
That's a good try. No.
Trying to dribble with a pumpkin?
No.
She was running from the ball.
Got it. Run away from the ball. She ran away from the ball. Oh, that's great.
You know, Chris Ritchie might buy some of these jokes for us.
You could probably take up a collection.
Yeah. I had to look up basketball jokes up today. I think that's all I've got. I just really appreciate you guys. We'll take questions. You can ask those guys questions too.
I have a question, Coach. You talked earlier about having to change the culture. It's hard to change the culture in any organization. What challenges were you facing, and then how did you go about doing that?
Great question. So for me, and I'm sure it's different for every coach that takes over a program, the previous coach's coaching style was not similar to mine, very different. So I came in with some, I don't want to call them rules, but some standards for the kids, and they were used to doing things a certain way. And I knew the biggest thing, in my opinion, was wins and losses were not as important back then. It was changing the culture, changing the way we do things. And we talk about culture a lot. We have standards for how they act at school, community. So it starts with those little things. If that answers your question.
Okay. Who's your major competition? Summit?
Summit. Yeah, Summit. They're tough at every sport, but they beat us in the Final Four last year. Year before that was Silverton, but got a lot of returners. But I think the way we're going to play and the guys we have, we'll have just as good a shot as them winning it all.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You mentioned something about coming from Eastern?
Yeah.
Eastern Oregon.
Eastern Oregon. Yeah, I played at Eastern Oregon.
Nice.
Yeah. Long time ago, feels like. You too? Go Mounties. Go Mounties.
Go Mounties.
Have you coached any other sports?
Oh, funny that you should ask. That's how we're connected for the ticket, the raffle ticket. Yeah, I've coached football. It's been a few years. I coached freshman football with Coach Duff in it was COVID time, 2000.
That's when, just speaking to he was the perfect coach to have, because it was during COVID. We didn't start football until February, so we were playing in the snow. Traveling to Pendleton, traveling all over the place, and he meshes well with the kids. The kids respect him. He was the perfect coach to have. We tried to keep him for another year, and he retired because we had such a good year. He didn't want to, have the rest.
Yeah, one and done. See ya.
But it was a great season, despite having to play in practice in deep snow almost every day. It was not fun.
Yeah, it was a memorable season for sure. Go ahead.
When my kids, when I played way back when, play a bunch of different sports in high school. My experience with my grandchildren now is that that's becoming less and less of an option. Do you get much of that, and do you encourage much of that?
I do. I think it's really important that they play at least 2 sports, and we have some some special athletes that play 3.
Right.
But you don't see it as much as you do. You see some specialization in some sports.
What drives that, basketball?
What's that?
Does basketball drive that more as a sport, or soccer? Or
No, I think it could be any sport. I would say parents and the goals of the kids. Maybe by the older they get into high school, I think they've got a vision where they maybe want to play baseball in college at the next level. So they maybe have to put football and basketball down and focus on those.
But you allow them. You don't overlap the seasons.
So last year, we only overlap if we have postseason. So unfortunately, this year we will not overlap with football. We'll have a couple weeks in between, and they get that break. Encourage that break. Evan Otten, our D1 post, called me and said, "I want to play. I think I'm going to play football." Okay. I wasn't super upset when his dad wouldn't let him. But we're small enough a school where we have to share athletes for all of our programs to be successful.
I was just going to say, it's been fun to watch Ray. He's a couple years younger than me. We actually competed against each other in high school. And I kind of found the education coaching path a little bit sooner than him, and then had the good fortune for him to say yes that day. I pulled up. I think he was wearing his athletic T-shirt and sweating pretty profusely, but I remember correct. But Reagan, the great thing about Reagan is he's a consummate learner. And if we're going to teach kids and help kids, we have to be invested ourselves to continually get better and do that. And the other thing I would say is he's consistent. What you see every day is who he is. He loves what he does. The kids know it. These two guys would tell you that they know that he supports them in all realms of life. And it's hard. To finish in 2 Final Fours at the state level, that's not easy to do, because you are relegated to the kids that grow up in your community, and some communities have a lot more kids and there's that attritional piece from an athletic prowess standpoint. So we should be proud as a community of the Redmond basketball program and what Reagan's really helped build with his coaching staff there and the quality of the kids that are there.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate it. Thank you.
What do you think of this new? I'm sorry, Don. Go ahead.
I was just asked about one of the factors that kids these days, it's expensive to play. So can you talk a little bit about the costs associated with kids playing?
So high school is actually pretty affordable. What's the pay to play? Do you guys know? Probably should ask your parents. But
a lot cheaper compared to non-high school related. So like summer ball, trying to go to like Salem or Portland to play basketball was a lot more expensive than just playing high school. Really, you just need shoes. It's really okay.
Yeah. Good question. And we do quite a bit of fundraising just to make their experience as good as it can be. We like to go to a couple tournaments, stay in hotels, especially in the preseason, to build those relationships. We like to go to team camps in the summer, so it's kind of however you want to run a program. So we do quite a bit of fundraising, but it's mainly for the experience, not actual needs. It's mainly just to help build our culture.
I think there's a new conference alignment that you got as far as you don't travel as much.
It's not as much travel. You bring some of those old rivalries back. I wish that the student enrollments were a little bit more comparable, but it is what it is, and we're going to make the best of it. We got third last year in the league without our big guy for 2/3 of the league. He broke his arm, and the other guy stepped up big time. So we can compete. It's basketball. There's 5 guys on the floor at each. I do think it hurts some of our other sports. Maybe not football, maybe not basketball, I should say, but some of those, maybe soccer, just with the numbers. I think they have a lot more numbers to choose from, especially.
You're like Summit was 100 kids or something.
Yeah, so it's.
That many kids, you can leverage that.
Yeah. So, but we always like beating the bin schools. It's fun. It's more fun beating the bin schools than it is like Pendleton or something. Sorry. I'm not sure. Around 1,500 last year, I heard, but I haven't checked.
And Redmond's?
We're around 1,000, which is 100 up from last year. Yeah. Yes?
So could you talk a little bit more about culture? You talked about changing the culture
Yeah.
and stuff, but if you had to define what your goals are for, character, culture, could you describe that a bit?
Sure. So we define culture as the way we do things, and we have 4 standards. This is good because our standard talk's coming up in a couple weeks before we have our first actual practice. They come up with things together in the community, the classroom, on the court, and with their family. And it's just the way we do things. And then if they're not able to meet those standards, then we do have consequences, and some of that is getting in better shape. Some of that is missing some game time. For example, like in the classroom, we take notes. We take notes in every class. We sit in front unless the teacher wants us to sit in the back.
That's required by you?
Yeah, but I'm not going to overstep the teacher, you know.
That's good.
Yeah, and like when I came in, it was a different leadership with a different vision, and I knew I was going to be here for a long time, so I know what I wanted to look like. Yeah. Does that answer your question, kind of?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just to touch on that actually, about the whole culture thing, I've never been a part of a team like we were. So my freshman year, I made the varsity team, and I had the experience to kind of come together and talk to all those guys. And the first thing Gilbertson did my freshman year is on our first day of practice, we all went to the library and we all came up with these like rules, the non-negotiables we call them, stuff that is just kind of required. He talked about taking notes. Another one is picking up trash. But what was also kind of shocking to me was he asked us what we wanted. What we wanted to see, what we wanted, him to how we wanted him to treat us, and how we wanted to treat each other. And that was pretty cool to be a part of that and kind of talk about it as a group and a team.
Get me all emotional, Jack. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's very good.
Anything else? Thanks again for having me. Thanks for lunch. Appreciate it.
Christine, we have one for you as well. We have one for you as well. This is just a little thank you, guys, for coming, taking time out of your busy days to be with us and teach us something a little bit about basketball and bad jokes and good jokes. Christine, you want to come on up?
Bad jokes.
You might recognize who made those.
Brian Walks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Okay, right. All right, this is great. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, guys.
We're thanking youth.
In honor of our guest today, I failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed.
There we go.
Michael Jordan.
Nice job. Don't forget your handbag.